Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the latest edition of Nathbet.com. It is pretty early in the morning here, 6:50, 6:55. I've been up. I got in from San Diego late last night, and I've got terrible jet lag. So, what better way to start the day from 5 in the morning than studying plenty of tips, making sure that we give you the best possible profit here at Nathbet. We want to get these out as soon as possible. Again, another double on the cards last week. Another nice 2-to-1 double in a week that was incredibly difficult to predict. We're absolutely delighted with the way things are going here now. We will have a points update, a points profit table for you, and the results for all the game weeks from 1 up to 30 next week for you guys. But it's sensational news. It's sensational profit, and we're absolutely delighted here. Obviously, on the back of that 33-to-1 fourfold, and then we had the treble 2 weeks ago, and now the double. It's just raining money, and that's what we like to see here. But without further ado, let's go on. Let's carry on. Let's carry this momentum forward. Cheltenham Week Club, you're all doing very well at Cheltenham. There's plenty of excellent offers if you haven't opened an account already. And Paddy Power actually is the best price with our double and treble this week. I know they've got some fantastic prices for the last 2 days of the festival. Make sure if you have not opened an account with them to get on as soon as possible, because you can really take advantage of the rest of the horse racing this week as well as the football this weekend. Okay, Premier League double for us to start off, guys. The safe double is both in the Premier League. First of all, we're going to go with Swansea City to beat West Bromwich Albion at home. Swansea City 1-1 draw against Palace, but they're very well rested. They've actually missed a couple of games with postponements over the last 2 to 3 weeks. And I just think with them playing West Brom, who are in absolute freefall at the moment, they've only won 4 games all season. Pepe Mel, I don't know how he's still there. But when they appointed him, I didn't like the appointment in the first place. They've lost Chris Brunt for 6 weeks. And I just think that Swansea, with the likes of Bunny up front, Michu's coming back, he could be on the bench. Hernandez to Guzman, I just think they'll have far too much for West Brom on this occasion. So even money about Swansea is the price that we're going to take. We're going to double that up with Southampton to beat Norwich. Southampton 8-13 to beat Norwich. They got an excellent 1-0 win at Crystal Palace last week. Thanks to Jay Rodriguez, we actually tipped them, Southampton, to go do the business. That's exactly what they did. And Norwich 1-1 draw against Stoke. Disappointing, really. They're relying far too much on Robert Snodgrass to get them out of trouble. And I do think they don't travel particularly well. I do think the Stadium Lights. Sorry, my apologies. And going to Southampton, they just won't have enough, really. You've got the likes of Lallana there. Like I say, Jay Rodriguez, as I said before, Ricky Lambert. I do think they are actually going to put 2 or 3 or 4 goals past someone soon. I think that Norwich could be the team to do that. So Southampton to beat Norwich, they're available at 8-13. Gives us a 2.3-to-1 double. Like I said earlier, with Paddy Power, best price with Paddy Power this week, the double, guys. Okay, on to the treble. We're going to go with another team in the Premier League, Sunderland against Crystal Palace. We're going to back Sunderland to win this game. Now, on the face of it, that might be a bit of a head scratch. Obviously, with Sunderland struggling, we know Palace are as well. But Sunderland 3-0 lost to Hull City last time out in the FA Cup didn't tell the whole story. They actually rested 8 of their starting 11. Gus Poyet making sure that this game was the priority, and of course the Premier League survival was their priority over the FA Cup this season. They did lose 3-1 to Manchester City in the Carling Cup final, but they actually played very well, went 1-0 up on that occasion. I do think that them back at the Stadium Light, I think the gravitas of this result is huge in the northeast, and I do think that they will beat Crystal Palace, who obviously started off very well under Tony Pulis and got themselves out of danger, but they've been slowly dragged back into it. They've actually lost 4 of their last 6 on their travels, and they definitely look like this side more at the start of the season than when he took over. So we're reading times for there, and I do think Sunderland will win on this occasion. Sunderland gives us a 23-20 best price to win and to win on. I think they'll do that pretty well. 2 more in the Championship, guys, to finish off the treble. Burnley against Leeds. Leeds having an absolute shocker, they really are. I thought McDermott had turned things round a little bit, and obviously that silly little spat where he was in and out and then in and out. But it looks like their form has been dreadful as of late. Another 4-2 loss home to Reading midweek. Burnley played last night, drew 3-3 with Birmingham. It's a very exciting game. Birmingham equalising in the last minute, but Turf Moor, Burnley are a different animal. They really are, and I think that they will dominate Leeds, especially if Leeds play anything like they are at the moment. So 5-6 about Burnley against Leeds is the price that we're going to take. So Sunderland, Burnley, and the last one we're going to go with in the treble is Watford. Watford at home, they're playing Barnsley. Watford, they did lose 2-1 to Doncaster, I think, in midweek. So that was a disappointing result there. They lost in extra time, I think the next 2 or 3 minutes into injury time, I think they lost. So disappointing result there. But at home, they've been very, very good at Vicarage Road. Winning 4 out of the last 6, only losing one of those games, and scoring 2 goals a game in the process. And they're playing Barnsley, who we're at bottom of the table, aren't they? Drawn 3, lost 3 of their last 6 on their travels, and I do think that there'll be far too much for them to go all the way down to London this weekend and get a result. So 8 to 13, we're going to take that price. More than happily, gives us a 5.2 to 1 treble with Paddy Power. Sunderland, Burnley, and Watford are the treble this week, guys. Okay, on to the fourfold. We're going to go to League One, and the form team in League One, both home and away, Rotherham against Walsall. Now, this is a top of the table clash, actually. Walsall are by no means no mugs. They're a decent side, and Rotherham need this game, need this win, really, for them to really push into that automatic promotion places. They're just a little bit out at the moment, 5 points, I think 5 points adrift. And Walsall, by the same means, they're 3 or 4 points adrift from making the playoffs. So, like I say, it should be a hotly contested game. But I do expect Rotherham will score goals for fun. They really do. I do expect them at home. They've been so strong. And I think that Walsall don't travel particularly well, winning 1 out of their last 6 games. So I do think that Rotherham will beat Walsall. They're available at even money, 19 to 20. The second team, and this is from a top of the table clash to a bottom of the table clash in the Championship, and we're going to back Millwall to beat Charlton. Millwall are 7 to 5, and Ian Holloway's had a bit of a nightmare, a bit of a struggling kind of a run, really. 7 to 5 to beat Charlton. Just they've struggled as of late, even though they did go to Derby and win 1-0 a couple of weeks ago. They lost in midweek, and I do think that Charlton should have a chance there. However, they've just lost their manager Chris Powell, and I just think that they don't travel particularly well. And Holloway's the kind of manager who does kind of get their team going when the backs are against the wall. He's done that plenty of times in the Premier League, and obviously with Blackpool as well. So Millwall to beat Charlton is the tip that I'm going to give you. They're at 7 to 5. I just think that they will make sure that they win this game. Charlton bottom of the table, and Millwall just 4 points out the relegation zone. So it's a huge game for both teams. But I'm going to back Millwall to come back out on top on this occasion. So Millwall to beat Charlton. And then 2 more in the Premier League to finish off, guys, in the fourfold. Aston Villa against Chelsea. We know where this one's going to go, don't we? We're going to back Chelsea. They didn't play Champions League in midweek, so they had plenty of rest. Aston Villa, so. They're just about hanging on, aren't they? They'll probably be fine at the end of the season, but Chelsea are far too good, and I'm sure that Mourinho will want to get his men as far in front of Manchester City, obviously with all those games in hand as possible, and I do think that they will have far too much after beating Tottenham 4-0, and they've just got far too much firepower, really, for them for Aston Villa to hold them. So Chelsea available 1 to 2, so it's a pretty small price, but like I say, as a buffer and a fourfold, I don't mind putting one of those in a week. And the last one, the biggest price of the week, guys. We're going to back Spurs and Arsenal to draw North London derby. Spurs play later on tonight in their Europa League, and I fully expect them to go through. I really do. But Arsenal, obviously, they played in midweek. They went out of the Champions League as well. They had to go to Germany, so they're going to be a little bit tired. They've lost Mesut Ozil for the next 6 weeks. They've got, obviously Aaron Ramsey out, amongst other people. I just think that going to Tottenham is not going to be an easy task. Obviously, like I say, Tottenham obviously less rest than them, only 1 day, but they don't have to travel away from home. And Tim Sherwood gave them absolute rollicking, didn't they, after that 4-0 loss at Chelsea. I expect them to be a lot better. Obviously, just keeping Man United out of that berth of 5th place, and I think that he needs to finish really in the top 4 if he is going to keep his job come the end of the season. I do expect a score draw in this game. I don't think either side have got enough to win it. I might have leaned towards Spurs if they weren't playing midweek, but the fact that they're playing tonight, I think that won't help them. So we're going to back Spurs to beat Arsenal. Like I say, 12 to 5 is the price there. Very nice price. So that's Rotherham, Millwall, Chelsea and Spurs. 23 to 1 fourfold, back with that old faithful Bet Victor, 23 to 1. 2.3 to 1 double, 5.2 to 1 treble, and a 23 to 1 fourfold. Have a fantastic weekend, guys, and we hope to deliver plenty more profits. Have a good one. Bye bye.